Tags Part 2. If you recall from our last video, I told you a little bit about attributes. We used the align attribute and we aligned our text from left to right, and then we justified the text. Well, in this video we're going to be covering attributes in a little bit more detail and a few more tags you're going to learn in this video. If you remember, an attribute is just a little bit more information added to a tag, and it always has a name that equals the value. In last video's case, the name was the align attribute, and it equaled the value of either left, right, or justify. If you want to open up your template you created in Notepad++, or if you haven't created a template yet, go ahead and jot all this information down that's on the screen here. And we're going to open up our title tag, and we're just going to put our title for Tags Part 2. Why not? Now, you've probably been wondering, well, I'm tired of this white background I've been using for the website that I've been creating. How in the world do I create a background with some color in it? Well, in order to do so, we need to open up our opening body tag here and add an attribute to the body tag. Since the body tag displays everything that's on the page, if we add a background color to the body tag, it'll display the entire background as that specific color. So we're going to use the attribute BG color, as in background color, and we're going to make our background red. And so I'm going to use a hexadecimal of pound F00. And again, our attribute has a name, and it equals a value which is located inside a double parentheses here. Go ahead and save your file. Go to Run and launch in whichever browser you choose. And I'm going to drag mine over here. And as you can see now, our background color is red. You can go online and go to Google and just search for hexadecimal color codes, and you can find websites that cover all the hexadecimal color codes of the rainbow and then some, and you can figure out which hexadecimal color code you want, and then you can place it in here as well. So go ahead and open up your body tag just a little bit here, and we're going to go ahead and put in an H tag. A heading 1 tag, which is the largest of the headings. There are 6 heading tags, 1 through 6, and H1 being the largest. And we're going to go ahead and type something inside the H1 tag, and we're just going to say, I love cats. We all love cats, don't we? And go ahead and save that file and hit refresh in your browser. And you can see now that in bold and in the heading of H1 we have I love cats. You know, I don't really like that font that it's using, the default font for the browser. I kind of want to change that. So in order to change that, we're going to add a new tag and a new attribute, and we're going to place this tag inside of the H1 tag. And the tag we're going to use is the font tag. And we need to do a closing font tag. And now make sure that your closing font tag and your opening font tag are found inside the H1 tag. And we're going to add an attribute to this font tag, and we're going to add the attribute of face, and it's going to equal a value, and what font I want to use is Arial, and so we have equaled the value of Arial here, and face is just telling the browser what kind of font we want to use, and in this case we want to use an Arial font. So go ahead and save your document, refresh in the browser, and as you can see, I Love Cats is now changed to an Arial font. Go ahead and drop down a couple of lines here, and we're going to create a paragraph tag. And inside this paragraph tag, we're going to write a little sentence here that says, I love cats so much that I am creating an entire site about them. Alright. Now what happens if we want to change just the I Love Cats here to an Arial and leave the rest as default font? I'm not sure why we'd want to do this, but for this instance we do. And so what we need to do is take that font tag that we just learned and put it just around the I Love Cats, and everything else we're just going to leave alone inside the paragraph tag. And again, we're going to open up our font tag, the opening font tag, and we're going to put in the attribute of face. And we're going to use Arial as our font here. And then I'm going to save this, refresh in the browser. And as you can see, I Love Cats is a little different font than the rest of the sentence here. And we've just made it Arial. What happens if we wanted to change the color of that? Well, we can actually add more attributes to one tag. We can add as many attributes to a tag as we would like. And all you have to do is after the second parentheses here, we just need to put one more space and type in the next attribute. And in this case, we want to change the color of this font here, and we're going to use the hexadecimal code of FFF, which is the color of white. We're going to save our document here, hit refresh in the browser, and as you can see, I Love Cats has now turned white. I kind of want to make it a different size as well. So let's go back to our page here, and we're going to add another attribute in here, the size attribute. And that's going to equal a value, and in this case, we want it to equal a value of 5. The default value on the screen in the browser is 3. There are seven different values you can use, 1 through 7, 7 being the largest, 1 being the smallest. Or you can even use a negative or plus system. If I wanted it to equal 5 and the default value is 3 and I put a plus, if I put a plus 2 here, because 3 plus 2 equals 5, that would work as well. So let's go ahead and try that. Size equals plus 2, save that, refresh, and as you can see, the I Love Cats got a little bit larger. Let's go back here and let's get rid of this plus 2, and let's put in a 5, save it again, and hit refresh, and you can see that nothing has happened because plus 2 and 5 are the exact same. You can use a negative 2 and it would be smaller text than this right here. This text right here is the default, which is 3. Now that we've added all that we want to add for this paragraph here, I think that we need to maybe put an image of a cat on here as well. Let's go ahead and drop down a couple lines here, and we're going to use the IMG tag. And actually, the IMG tag doesn't require a closing IMG tag. We just need to place the information inside of here. So what we need to locate is the source of this image, and that's what we're going to use the source attribute. And in this case, we're going to use an image off the web. Let's go ahead and open your browser back up. Go to Google, and we're going to type in cat and go to images. And I like this cat right here. So what I'm going to do now that I've found the cat image that I want, I'm going to right click on the image on the web, and I'm going to go to copy image URL in Chrome. If you're using Internet Explorer or Firefox, you might have to go to the properties down at the bottom and open it up, and you're going to see an HTTP address on there, and you're going to want to copy that entire address. But with Chrome, you can just hit copy image URL, go back to your text editor here, and we're going to go ahead and paste this URL in between the quotations. Once we've done that, we need to add an alt tag in here, or excuse me, an alt attribute. And the alt attribute is required for an image. It stands for alternate, and if the image doesn't show up, let's say that person that I stole this image from took that image off of their server and it's no longer available, well, what's going to show up in the image's place is what we're going to type here. And I'm just going to type in cat picture. So this won't show up unless the image is not available, and it is required to make your HTML valid. Go ahead and save your document here and go back to our page and refresh in the browser. And as you can see now, we've got this nice cat picture up here. Now if you had an image of your own, you can upload it to your own server, find the URL address of your image, and copy and paste your image in there. Or you can do a shorthand. Let's say your image, let me copy this really quick or cut it. Let's say your image is located on the root of your folder. All you would have to do is type in the image name and the extension there. If it's located in maybe an images folder, type in the folder name with a / and then the image name and the extension. If it's located in an images folder and then a cats folder, you would just keep going along the line of folders there. But in our case, ours is located on the web. And so I'm going to paste that in there. Drop down a couple of lines here again. And now that we've created an image of a cat, we would like to create a link to a different website here. And the link tag you're going to be using is the A tag. Now inside the A tag here, you're going to want to type in some text that you want the user to click on in order to get to this web page. And so we're going to type in go to cats.com is the text that we want them to click on. If I go ahead and save this and refresh in my browser, you can see that go2cats.com is located here, but I can't click on it and go anywhere just yet. And actually, let's go ahead and insert a break tag in between here so we can get it on the next line. Because inside the link attribute, which is A, or link tag, which is A, we're going to add an attribute of href. We're going to reference a URL here, and inside here we're just going to put in http://www.cats.com. And so now when they click on this, they're going to end up going to cats.com. Let's go ahead and save this, refresh, and you can see now if I clicked on go to cats.com, it'll take me to cats.com. What happens if you wanted to send this image to a different screen? You didn't want the person to click on cats.com and have it show up in the same window of your screen because you wanted to keep your page up but open up a blank window for the cats.com. Well, you would add another attribute in here of target, and that's going to equal a value of underscore blank. And now if I saved this and I hit refresh here and I clicked on this link, it would not open up in the window that I'm using from my website. It would open up in a brand new tab or window. Now we want to create an email address in here, so go ahead and put one more break tag. And we want it to link to an email address. Well, again, we'll use the link tag, and inside we need to place some kind of a text. Email us is what we'll put, and inside the link tag we're going to use the href attribute, but this time it's not going to equal a URL address. We need to type in the words mail to : because we're telling it we want, after we click this, we want this to mail to somebody, so it's going to open up our default email, which is either Google or Outlook or whatever you're using on your computer, and we want it to go to cats@cats.com. That's our email address, and so we're going to save this, hit refresh, and as you can see now we've got an email us button here, or link, and if I clicked on it, it would open up my default email, which at this point, okay, it opened up on my other screen. Let me pull it over. I'm not using Outlook, but apparently my computer's default email is for Outlook, and it wants me to set it up, so I'm going to say cancel this, and yes, I want to exit the wizard. And so it would open up your default email, and then you'd be able to type an email out to cats@cats.com. So now what happens if we wanted to add a link to an image? Well, we've already got our image up here. Why don't we just put a link tag around our image, and in doing so we don't need to type anything inside the link tag because we already have an image in there. We just need to add the link. So we're going to put in a attribute of href here, and I'm going to put in an HTTP address of www.cats.com, and then we also need to put in, oh no we don't, well yeah, let's go ahead and put it in. Let's go ahead and put in our target to equal underscore blank. And so if I go ahead and save this file refresh. Nothing's changed on the page, but when I hover over this image now and I clicked on it, it would open up cats.com in a blank window or a blank tab. Last thing we're going to be going into in this video are lists. And let's go ahead and create some lists of why we like cats. We can use the UL tag, which means unordered list, which would give us bullet points. And inside the UL tag, we need to put in some LI tags. The UL tag says, hey, we're creating an unordered list with bullet points. The LI tag says, okay, these are the bullet points. So we like cats because they are furry. We also like cats because they are fun. And let's go ahead and save this. Actually, let's put a break tag in here before we do that, just so we can get this on the next line. And we will refresh. And now you can see we've got they are furry, they are fun, with bullet points next to them. Well, what happens if you wanted to have an ordered list with numbers? Well, you just put in an OL tag. And inside here you still need your LI tags. And we'll put in a couple more reasons. They're crazy. See those videos online. Cats are pretty crazy. They are cuddly. And then we'll go ahead and save this and refresh. And you can see now we've got our next list with numbers next to them.